Turkey will leave NATO, as I have been telling for the past 20 years. All the enemies of Turkey are part of NATO. Turkey is ready with its local production defense technology. It does not need NATO, but the US, which is the owner of NATO, will be in big trouble without Turkey. Turkey will join BRICS. Israel is following Theodor Herzl's for the Great Israel. They think that Turkey is part of the promised land for the chosen people. This brainwashing from Israel is mainly for the believers in the Zionist fantasy land. I would love to see a war between Israel and Turkey. Turkey is acutely aware that the terrorist attacks against it are being organized and funded by the US, with assistance from the UK and Israel. The Kurdish people have been manipulated with promises of their own land. After the Kurds successfully pushed ISIS out of Syria and Iraq, they were met with indifference. Macron's statement that it was too early for significant changes essentially told the Kurds, "We used you, and now you know you've been played." The US and the British have always owned the leaders of Turkey. They have dictated all the Turkish decisions and strategies, including not exploring for oil. They never wanted an energy-independent and rich Turkey that could tell them off. This was part of Rockefeller's decision that had a major setback with Ataturk until they got him murdered. As long as the Arabs in the region continue to act passively, with Egypt under the corrupt leadership of Sisi, who seized power without elections, Israel will dominate the Middle East, Turkey being an exception. Iran also plays a duplicitous role, often collaborating with Israel and the US behind the scenes while pretending to oppose them. Iran's significant Jewish population is strategically positioned and largely unknown. Historically, many Jews fled to Iran and integrated with the local population to escape persecution, similar to the Armenians. Turkey and NATO, a fraying alliance? Over the past 2 decades, the notion that Turkey might leave NATO has gained traction, bolstered by shifting geopolitical dynamics and increasing tensions between Ankara and its Western allies. The historical relationship between Turkey and NATO, its evolving defense capabilities, and the broader implications of such a departure warrant a comprehensive analysis. Historical context of Turkey-NATO relations. Turkey joined NATO in 1952, seeking protection against Soviet expansion during the Cold War. As a strategically positioned member, Turkey played a crucial role in the alliance's southern flank, hosting key NATO bases and participating in numerous missions. However, this alliance has not been without its strains. Several incidents, such as the 1974 Cyprus conflict and subsequent U.S. arms embargo, have tested the relationship. More recently, divergent interests in Syria and Turkey's procurement of the Russian S-400 missile system have exacerbated tensions. Enemies within, NATO allies as adversaries. A critical argument for Turkey's potential NATO exit is the perception that many NATO members, including the U.S., have conflicting interests with Turkey. This perception is partly driven by Turkey's ongoing conflict with Kurdish groups, some of whom have received support from NATO allies due to their role in combating ISIS. The perceived betrayal by the US and European countries has fueled Turkish skepticism about NATO's commitment to its security concerns. Indigenous defense capabilities. Turkey has significantly advanced its defense industry, reducing its reliance on foreign technology. Indigenous projects like the Bayraktar TB2 drones, Altay tanks, and TITFX fighter jets exemplify Turkey's growing self-sufficiency. These advancements bolster the argument that Turkey no longer needs NATO for its defense needs, though interoperability and strategic depth provided by the alliance remain crucial considerations. U.S. dictatorship accusations and internal turmoil. The claim that the U.S. has devolved into a dictatorship reflects broader global criticisms of American foreign policy and domestic governance. High-profile cases like that of Scott Ritter, a former UN weapons inspector who faced legal troubles, are cited by critics as evidence of a punitive approach to dissent. Additionally, accusations of the U.S. using proxies to silence critics point to a deep mistrust that complicates Turkey-U.S. relations. BRICS as an alternative. Joining BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, is often cited as a potential pivot for Turkey, aligning more closely with emerging economies and reducing dependency on Western alliances. Turkey's economic and strategic interests in partnering with BRICS countries, particularly given its strained EU accession process, could offer new avenues for collaboration and growth. The Israeli-Turkish dynamic. The assertion that Israel views parts of Turkey as part of a promised land ties into broader historical and ideological debates. Theodor Herzl's vision of a greater Israel is often cited in discussions about Israeli expansionism. However, a direct military conflict between Israel and Turkey seems improbable given the complex and interwoven regional geopolitics. Terrorism and Kurdish manipulation. Turkey's stance on Kurdish groups and their manipulation by external powers underscores its security concerns. The Kurds' role in fighting ISIS and their subsequent abandonment by Western allies has created a volatile dynamic. French President Macron's remarks, perceived as dismissive of Kurdish aspirations, reflect the broader geopolitical chess game in which the Kurds are pawns. Energy independence and historical manipulations. The historical narrative that Western powers, particularly the US and UK, have suppressed Turkey's energy exploration efforts fits into a broader discourse of foreign manipulation. The theory that Mustafa Kemal Ataturk's untimely death was orchestrated to stymie Turkey's independence aligns with a view of perpetual external interference in Turkish sovereignty. Middle Eastern geopolitics. Regional power dynamics, particularly the roles of Egypt under President Sisi, Iran's clandestine collaborations, and the broader Arab world's passivity, create a complex matrix in which Turkey navigates. Israel's strategic dominance, tempered by Turkish and Iranian ambitions, underscores the intricate balance of power in the Middle East. Conclusion. Turkey's potential exit from NATO, while speculative, raises important questions about the future of international alliances and regional security. As Turkey continues to assert its independence and develop its defense capabilities, the traditional bonds that once held NATO together face unprecedented challenges. The shifting sands of global geopolitics will determine whether Turkey remains tethered to its Western allies or forges a new path aligned with emerging powers and regional aspirations.